guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I'm not going to call it my October book haul because this has taken place over the last several months. And it's not even a comprehensive overview of all of the books that I've gotten over the last few months, so I've literally just, picked the most important ones, I guess. Yeah. That's what we're gonna go with. I just picked, the highlights of what I've managed to get over the last few months. So to start off with, there's actually two. I got The Way of Kings, and I got Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. These are both very heavy to hold up, so I'm gonna put one down. I have been meaning to start the Stormlight Archives for a while now. I had the ebook because I think that Brandon Sanderson did that free ebook giveaway of Way of Kings to promote Rhythm of War coming out soon. But this was just it's so big that it was just easier for me to read as a physical copy, and even then it's still taking me forever. Not because I'm not interested in it. It's really, really good. I just have not had the time to, or the inclination, I guess, to just carry around this chunker. But it is really good, and I'm really excited to finish it so that I can move on to Words of Radiance. I don't have a copy of Oathbringer yet. I'm definitely not going to be able to finish these before Rhythm of War comes out. I already know that. But it's a start. So we have started the Stormlight Archives, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Next is a book that I'm kind of late to the game for. I have talked about before, I think that I really enjoyed A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, and A Heart So Fierce and Broken came out last year, beginning of this year? I think early beginning of this year, probably. I loved A Curse So Dark and Lonely. It was fantastic, and I love a good Beauty and the Beast fairy tale retelling literally any day of the week. All-time favorite Disney movie. But I didn't love the way that certain things ended, I guess I could say, without spoiling A Curse So Dark and Lonely. And I heard that there is less of certain characters' presence in this one and more of certain other characters' presence in this one, and I just didn't know how I would feel about that. But I finally got around to picking it up because I really just wanted to move on with the series. This was a part of a buy two, get one free? I don't know. Amazon was having a deal for Prime Day, and I picked this up as one of them. The second book that I got as part of the Prime Day deal was To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. We enjoy Christopher Paolini in this house. We read all of the Aragon books from a very young age. My husband is actually in the middle of rereading the entire Aragon series right now. And so when I found out he was coming out with a new book, I had to get my hands on it, even though it's sci-fi, and I'm not used to him writing sci-fi. So we'll see how it goes. I tried the audiobook. I just wasn't in the mood for listening to it on audio, not that it wasn't great. The narrator for the audiobook is actually the female voice of Commander Shepard in Mass Effect, if any of you have ever played that. So it was pretty cool. You could definitely hear her, Shepard come out, and it was just entertaining, but I just was not in the mood for it, and there were a couple of parts that I wanted to go back to and reread, and it was just difficult in a library borrowed audiobook. So this is the hard copy, and I will hopefully be getting around to this soon. I just realized that I haven't actually been giving any synopses, but we're just gonna keep going on with that because this would be a really long video. It's going to be a really long video to begin with, and if I start having to talk about what every single one of these is about, it's gonna be twice as long. So we're just gonna keep going. The final book that I got from that Amazon Prime Day deal was Monstrous, which is a graphic novel by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. I actually didn't know that Marjorie Liu was involved with this at all. I actually have read a few of her paranormal romances, and I really, really liked them at the time, so that makes me even more excited to pick up this graphic novel. All that I know is that it's steampunk, and it involves a girl who hunts monsters, but the art is absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to pick this up. The next book that I got is Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko. I don't actually know how to pronounce the last name. Ifueko? I hope. Something like that. I got this in a Once Upon a Book Club box. I think this was their August choice for their young adult box. I don't actually know what this is about anyway, but it has been getting amazing reviews all over BookTube, so I really can't wait to pick this up as well. These next two books I got together in one Book of the Month box, but I'll talk about them separately. So the actual book that was my Book of the Month pick was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Everybody's talking about this, everybody's kind of giving it mixed reviews, but overwhelmingly people really seem to like it, and I'm really excited to read it as well, because I read, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I really enjoyed that. So I've been meaning to get to more of her books, and the concept of it, like, a girl makes a deal with the devil so that she can live forever, but the trade-off is that nobody can ever remember her and she can't leave any kind of mark on the world, is so cool. I don't know how the ending is going to be with me, because I don't actually know how it ends, but from people's reactions about the ending, I think I can kind of guess how it ends, so we'll see. We'll see how I feel. And also, for my add-on for Book of the Month, I chose A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I haven't actually read anything by Naomi Novik, but dark academia has been pretty interesting for me lately. I really enjoyed Ninth House. I haven't really picked up many others, but I think that it's a genre that I might like to explore more, so I can't wait to see what this is about, because people are marketing it as Harry Potter for adults, but I feel like anything set in a magic school is marketed as Harry Potter for adults, and it really just doesn't apply to 99% of those, so I'm just gonna say magic school, magic college, or whatever just seems really interesting to me, and I'm interested to see what Naomi Novik does with that. The next book on my list is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I actually was sent this by my cousin. She was super sweet. She found out that I hadn't read it yet, and she was raving about it and wanted to talk about it with somebody. It wasn't available for my library yet, so she just went ahead and sent me a hard copy of it. I haven't actually picked it up yet, but it's a paranormal romance, and Jennifer L. Armentrout gets so much love for her paranormal romances all the time anyway, so I'm really intrigued to see how I feel. I've never read any of her books before, but my other cousin, I have a lot of them, I have a very large Italian family, my other cousin is a Jennifer L. Armentrout stan, and she has read everything that she's ever written, so she is very highly recommended to me. I can't wait to read this and the sequel, because the covers are absolutely beautiful and the story is really cool sounding as well. I just realized that I was technically moving backwards in the way that I acquired all of these, but that's fine. I got Ink and Sigil by Kevin Hearn because this came out back in August. This is his spin-off of the Iron Druid Chronicles, and it is so good. I already read this one, and it's fantastic. I can actually talk about what this is about, because I've actually read this, and I think this is the only one, this is the only one that I've showed so far that I've actually read. So this follows Al McVarish, who is, I don't actually remember what his job title is, but essentially he deals with ink magic, and like rune magic, and in this particular world, they are used as contract negotiators, or contract, what's the word I'm looking for? Deal sealers. They witness contracts between members of the Fae, or I think just the magical world in general, and they are the ones who enforce the contracts as they are carried out. Al McVarish is an older guy. He's very, very proud of his mustache, and he has this issue where his apprentices keep dying, and this book begins where his latest apprentice is actually murdered in his apartment, and Al is trying to figure out how and why that happened. It is so good. I really think that Kevin Hearn hit this one out of the park, and I can actually maybe see myself enjoying this just as much as the Iron Druid Chronicles, which is one of my favorite urban fantasy series of all time. The next book that I have is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. I don't know much about this. I know that it's supposed to be a really funny read. I know that it is fantasy about, like, a guy getting the band back together to do stuff. They're like a group of mercenaries. I don't know. I know that it's getting really great reviews all over the place, and I can't wait to see what it's all about for myself. This next book we got purely off of a recommendation from Elliot Brooks's channel. She was talking about this because she said that if you like the video game Horizon Zero Dawn, then you would absolutely like the Book of Coley by M.R. Carey. I haven't read this, and that is the only thing that I know about it, is that was a recommendation, because if you like Horizon Zero Dawn, you'll like this book. My husband played Horizon Zero Dawn. I watched a little bit of it. We both really liked, well, he really liked his gameplay, and I really enjoyed what I saw, and I started playing it for myself as well. And that was apparently all the recommendation that we needed to try this out. So hopefully we like it just as much as we liked the game. These next two books I got separately from each other, but I am really intrigued to see what the series is all about, and that is Sleeping Giants and Waking Gods. I know that it's sci-fi. I know that it's told in a mixed media format, and it's about like a girl who accidentally falls into a hole and she ends up in like this giant's hand, and nobody knows how or why it got there, and it's like a giant metal hand or something, I guess. They're really short, so it shouldn't be a very slow read for me, but I'm really intrigued by the concept, and I will let you guys know when I've finally read them. We're almost to the end, guys, I promise. But this one is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I know nothing about this. This actually was picked up by my husband, actually, I'm just realizing. He really likes dragons, so this is about dragons. The cover's pretty cool. It's gotten good reviews on BookTube, and that is the extent of my knowledge on this.
Really?
Well, you do really like dragons. Finally on this list is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahiran. I got this as a pre-order, which means that I got it with the author letter and with the beautiful artwork on the inside of the cover. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, there it is. Okay. And I am really excited to finally get around to this, because I absolutely adored Serpent and Dove when I read it. I'm pretty sure I read the majority of it in one sitting. It was fantastic, and I'm both excited and nervous to read Blood and Honey, because I've been hearing some very mixed reviews. I've heard that Blood and Honey kind of has second book syndrome a little bit, so I don't know now if I want to read this right away or if I want to wait, because the third book is coming out in August, and I hear that this leaves off on an awful cliffhanger that's going to break me. So I'm debating on whether I'm going to read this now or wait a few more months just so I'm a little bit closer, so I don't have to wait quite as long for the sequel. But we will see. So that is it for my, I guess I'm going to call it a mid-year book haul, because this pretty much covers the highlights of the books that I've gotten since June, probably, give or take, a few weeks, I guess. But yeah, that is most of the books that I've gotten over the last couple of months, and I guess that's it for this video, so I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!